Welcome back, breadcrumbs, to another installation of Sandwich, the podcast where we review movies for your enjoyment. Today's movie of choice is Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. A nice little twist on a child's nurse. Is it called a nurse? It's not called a nursery rhyme.
No, it's just a book.
It's a book. That's what it is. A child's book. Also, movie, TV.
Yeah, Disney did a whole thing.
Yeah, they had a bunch of movies on it. Just childhood life. Just your whole childhood. But there's blood and honey and death and trauma.
If you don't want your childhood ruined, don't watch this movie.
No, probably not.
I was sitting there thinking, Winnie the Pooh wouldn't do this. What is he doing? And I mean, it's a similar thing to what Christopher Robin was feeling the entire movie.
100%.
Pooh, why are you doing this? I was your friend.
Really, that just sums up the whole movie. I don't really know how to sum up the movie besides, like, you have Winnie the Pooh and his friends, and then you don't have Winnie the Pooh and his friends. You have Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Christopher Robin.
Well,
and
it mentions
dying.
all of his friends.
Yeah, it does.
You know, that was probably one of the creepiest openings to a movie I've ever seen.
But I loved it so much. I loved the art style of it.
I
Like
guess that makes sense. Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird. Poor Eeyore.
Yeah. He was the only... I don't understand. Okay, I'll get to that.
Okay, let's start with directors and actors. We have director Rhys Frank Waterfield, which I have seen 0 of his movies, but he did direct a lot of childhood stories turned horrific. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if you guys have ever dived into it, but I'll attach it with the podcast down in the description. But there's this whole website of just these other movies that are based off of childhood stories or experiences or fairy tales or books or whatever that just are horrified. They're in the realm of horror, and it would be really cool to just sit down and watch them all. They're probably your typical B horror films, which usually is a more lower budget, but they're still just as fun to watch. But yeah, this director Waterfield, he directed a lot of those, and his actors in this movie are in a lot of those movies too, and I also don't know any of these actors, but they are used a lot in this like little realm, this little pod of filmography. Thank you, filmography.
Yeah, I saw that too, that there were a lot of actors who were just kind of in this same realm of his spooky horror. I also saw, I don't know if it was true because it was Wikipedia, but I looked this dude up because I had no idea who he was. And it said that, Wikipedia said, not quoting cheese here, we're quoting Wikipedia. It said that he was, if he could get the rights to it, he would do, like, other ones as well. Like, the Powerpuff Girls is one that he was thinking of.
That would be cool.
It would be interesting. I was thinking about it, and I think it would remind me a lot of, like, that one movie with the guy who's, like, not Superman.
What?
You know the horror movie where it's, like, Superman, but not? There's, like, a kid, and instead of coming to Earth to be the, like, superhero, he comes to Earth and he's just a horrible dude.
No.
Yeah, let me... I'll look it up, because I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, anyway, I really liked this idea to watch this movie because I've always been a Winnie a Pooh, I don't know, what do you call it, fan? Like, every Christmas, my stocking, when I was growing up, not currently, but my stocking was always Pooh, and my sister's was always Tigger, and, like, that was just our thing. We'd always have Pooh and Tigger themed memorabilia or ornaments and whatnot, and it was such a special thing for me and my family, and I loved the art style of the original movie, so it was a pleasure to kind of watch this adaptation to see how it goes down. What's your connection with Winnie the Pooh?
My mom got me the books that were written by A.A. Milne when I was a kid, and I read those constantly, and then I saw one of the movies, I think, the one where they're, like, looking for the Snuffleupagus, which is, like, this big purple thing, I guess. And that's about it.
I've watched all the movies, read none of the books, so... Oh, man.
They're very cute books.
Yeah.
Which is why I was kind of like, ugh, do we have to watch this?
Yes, I chose it, so we had to. Not really a fun fact, but I kind of wanted to talk about it. What adds to the grotesqueness of this movie is that when you really look at Pooh, he's a little different than the rest of the characters, because he's not... Well, of course, we don't really see any of the characters besides Pooh and Piglet, but Piglet literally looks like a pig, you know? Like, there's so much
he's like a
resemblance.
warthog.
Yeah, warthog, yeah, but he still has that resemblance, but Pooh has this uncanny valley to him. He's very...
I love when he... Speaking of that, when he's like eating honey, that was like the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's so creepy. Like,
dude,
I don't understand.
Because he has real fingers, right? Not like the
Yeah.
little bear paw. So it's not like super cute. He's like scooping it. It's just like, and he's like sticking his fingers in his mouth because obviously it's a costume, so he has to put the fingers into the mouth of the thing deep enough, into the mouth of the mask deep enough to actually like quote unquote get into his real mouth. And so it's just like he's jamming his fingers down his throat.
And I feel like even in general in the originals, I feel like that's how Pooh Bear always ate. He just like shoved his like bear paw in his mouth, but it has such an uncanny valley to it. Even the face he makes when he's taking in the honey is like, it's a smile, but it's not, and it's creepy, and I don't understand it, and I just can't. I think it might actually be permanently stuck in my head. I don't think I ever realized that it wasn't not stuck in my head.
This movie was just kind of creepy all over.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of upset about the little opening movie thing. They did like an opening scene where it was kind of comic sketches that were just kind of like scribbled because they wanted to add horror production to it. And the reason why it disturbed me is because I couldn't believe that Eeyore was the one like they decided to murder.
I know.
They're like, our first victim is Eeyore because we're all starving. And I was like, oh, of course they killed the repressed donkey. That's really a good message.
Because he had the most meat on his bones, probably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pooh is a bear. They're pretty big.
He'd be strong.
Yeah, but I mean, like, 5 of them could team up on him.
That's true.
Piglet looked like he knew how to throw down.
Yeah. And, like, pigs can eat anything, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. I want to apologize if you can hear my dog barking in the background. She's just a little baby puppy, but let that just be part of the horror of this podcast. Every time we talk about something really spooky, that's the warning you hear. If you hear her barking, you know it's something spooky's about to happen.
Yeah.
Totally.
And you can also tell that it's just like, this is just part of the genre of the movies. Is that for some weird reason, all these movies always have one traumatized character. Like, there just has to be one. Mm-hmm. And this poor woman doesn't know what she's getting into when she goes into... Because they show a scene with her in therapy, and I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for this lady. And because I was just like, she's traumatized, she's gonna have to go through even more trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then her trauma was like a creepy old dude, like, stalking her and like walking into her room at night, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah, like that was a lot. And they just totally like crapped all over her about it too, like her friends.
Oh yeah, they were dips. That was like one of the moments where I was just like, okay, it's cool if these people die. But then at the same time I was just like, it's not really cool because people dying to some random thingamajig always is never fun.
Especially the Pooh Bear covered in honey face. That's just too much.
But he didn't kill Christopher Robin.
No, that's true.
So the opening scene, Christopher Robin is like, I'm going back to 100 Acre Wood. He brings his fiance with him, and he's just like, it's cool. These guys are my friends. We've been friends all my life. And then he like goes back in, and there's like all these rusted out cars, and all this stuff. And he's like, what's happening here? This isn't the place I remember. And his wife his fiance is like, we should really get out of here. It's so scary. And then they like hide under the bed, which is like, I think that honestly this was the creepiest part of the movie for me. They hide under Pooh's bed, and then Pooh comes in and lays on the bed, and I'm like, I don't know. There was just something disgusting about them hiding in the room and knowing that he was just chilling in there.
It wasn't like a standard bed. Like, it actually fell down. Like, it would droop down when you lay in it. It wasn't really a great bed frame. So I feel like he's gonna feel if he's scurry, you know?
Yeah. And I was just like, okay, the thing that, like, made me start to have to suspend disbelief here was, like, he's a bear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's an animal, so he has really good hearing. And I'm like, are you telling me they were whispering as they were walking out the house and dude didn't hear them?
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Although I've never gone near a bear cave when they're hibernating, so maybe it's just like a super deep sleep that Pooh just sinks into because he never sleeps because he's always hunting.
But you have a good point, because like they gave up speaking and to go more to their animalistic traits, so you would think those animalistic traits would be heightened. So yeah, I would argue. I mean, who knows if there's any bear experts? Do bears just go deaf when they hibernate, or when they go to sleepy sleep? Let us know.
Yeah, comment down below.
Yeah.
Let us know, because I have no idea how bears work.
Need a bear expert up
And I'm not
there.
going to bother to look it up, so.
No, what's the fun in that? Let's engage. Well, let's get into some favorite parts then. How about you start?
Okay, one of my favorite parts was, I'll just continue on. I thought it was funny that when Christopher Robin and his wife are trying to get away, they like hide behind a car, and they're like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay. And then dude forgets about all the other friends he has for some weird reason. He's just like, it's okay, Pooh's in there, we're all good. And then Piglet just shows up and like spikes his wife or something, and I was like, oh, they forgot about Piglet, I guess.
Well, they would have forgotten about all of them, but we don't get to see all of them, but that's fine.
I mean, the other ones are in the sequel, apparently.
Okay. Gotta watch the sequel now. I already talked about how I like the introductory animation. I thought that was
that was weird. I kind of love though that they went back to it for like when after the wife died and Christopher Robin, like you didn't know what happened to Christopher Robin. They went back to the weird creepy animation and they just like showed an image of like Pooh Bear and Piglet just dragging somebody and then burning their body, and I was like, oh well, Christopher Robin's dead.
I'll get to that later. It's not one of my favorite parts, but I like the animation so much. I thought it was a good kind of like different medium to tell the story, where it's not such a bland screenplay of it. You can actually see different layers in it, and it kind of makes a frame tale, which is like something that's like a story within a story, because you start out like learning the past and whatnot, and then it also continues the story, and then we have this whole another story with these girls who are going on this trip. So it's just really nice to see all these parts coming together. Think of it in a narrative perspective. I really enjoyed that.
The Christopher Robin kid, like the guy who played the young Christopher Robin, very cute kid.
Yeah, he was so adorable.
I was like, man, you do not belong in this movie.
No, oh gosh. Man, that's one thing I have to think about is when they have child actors, like...
Well, he was doing like a Pooh Bear pre-Eeyore eating. So
I know, but
it
like...
was just like a super cute moment. So the kid, I feel like the kid could be a part of it, but at the same time, it was just like, oh, this is
going
the
like
kind of movie
outside
that
of it
kids
though,
would
like if you finished filming, would the kid be like, I want to watch this, and the parents are like, no. it just
They
makes
just like close his eyes until it's him and like, look, there's you.
Yeah, like the rest of the time close your eyes. Okay, you watched it. Like, I don't know. It's always a weird dynamic, because I feel like, I don't know, I'm not a kid, but if I acted in something, I would want to watch the whole movie. Some people are actually the complete opposite. They'll never watch something they've been in.
Like Johnny Depp.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that just a known fact?
Yeah, he's just never seen a movie that he's in.
What? I guess he's already lived through it.
Yeah,
but...
that's what he said. That's what his ideal was, is that he's been working on this movie for months. He already knows what happens, and he doesn't really want to watch himself acting.
But I know that people film in different orders, so it would be nice to see, like, I don't know, I guess to each their own. But I feel like a kid would be really excited. Like, yeah, I want to watch this. It's a horror movie. Ah, Mom and Dad.
I think it would depend on the kid.
Yeah, and the parents.
Yeah.
Definitely also the parents.
Yeah.
They're wise or, I don't want to say good or bad. That's not the term I want to use. But if they're appropriately judgmental parents, I don't know. don't know if that's the word I wanted, but yeah. What's another part you like?
I honestly loved the 100-acre wood sign, just because it was kind of creepy after Christopher Robin left. It just kind of turned. It kind of looked like blood dripping, like they rewrote it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy. And I especially noticed it when that girl was like, "It's a 100-acre wood, right?" And then later in that scene, like, we got a short flash of her boobs, just because, like, Pooh rips off her shirt before throwing her through a wood chipper, I guess. And intense. I was like, wow, okay.
Intense.
Because you gave me a boob warning, and I was like, okay, I gotta brace myself for this. And you're like, it's technically the second kill, and I was like, okay. You did not count Eeyore as a casualty in this.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He was a sacrifice, not a kill.
Don't worry, Eeyore. We're doing this for the greater good.
Yeah. You're gonna be in a good place after this. You're gonna be in the 1,000-acre woods up the 1,000.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Yeah. It's about like the first 20 or 30 minutes in. It's the only nudity scene that there is, luckily for.
And it's like it's barely even like you barely even catch it.
Yeah, for any of our viewers who just don't like to see any type of nudity, or if you were planning on showing your underage child this, which again,
don't know why you would. But...
yeah, probably choose not to. This is a pretty intense horror movie.
It's one of those though that has a lot of goofy blood.
Yeah, and those are my favorite horror movies. Is like the worse the budget, the better. Like, do you know those old box horror sets where they would have like 15 horror movies in one for like $5, and they wouldn't be great horror movies? I love that. That box set is what got me into wanting to do this podcast, because watching those, I loved the art style, and just literally you could tell how bad it was, but it was so good at the same time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I wanted
movies
to talk
so bad
about
that
those.
They're good.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I feel subjectively that's kind of like how this movie was. It was so bad it was good.
Honestly, I agree.
And I don't know what it is about it.
At first, like, when I first finished it, I was like, wow, that is utter garbage. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, Pooh, okay.
I see you.
Yeah, you play a crazy game.
Man, I just don't know what it is about it. Like, psychologically, I don't... Like, we strive for something new and great each day, but then when we go back to something, like, really bad, it's still great. I don't know, maybe it's a reflection thing where it reminds us that everything's not perfect, and we have to see the beauty in things.
This movie's definitely not perfect.
No.
At least in my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
It probably didn't rank really well in any sort of review
I didn't
category.
look up, like, it's Rotten Tomatoes ranking.
Because, I don't know, it was kind of predictable.
Yeah.
It was like one of those where it's just like, okay, everyone dies because Winnie the Pooh's a killer, and he's a bear. And it's kind of, it's kind of hard to, like, my whole thing is, like, it's hard to kill a bear. Like, it takes multiple,
I guess that's true.
if you're fighting a bear, or, like, hunting a bear, there's a lot of people who have to, like, take multiple shots to kill said bear. Especially if they're using a certain type of gun. So I was like, man, this is gonna probably just be a bear killing a bunch of people.
I didn't think about that. That's a good added layer. What he's referencing is, like, later at the very end of the movie, they do try to kill Pooh Bear, and I'm always gonna call him Pooh Bear, in a certain way, and you think he's dead, and then he's not dead, and then everything goes wrong. But,
which is just kind of how it happens in this movie for Christopher Robin.
yeah, it really sucks for him. It really does. I also really enjoyed the movie. It was based in the UK area. I don't know if the original movies of Winnie the Pooh had a British tone to them. Did they? Okay, here's my theory. I've always...
100-acre wood is in Europe.
I didn't know that. I really did not know that. All my life, I'm like, I wish I was born in Britain. I watch British shows. I'm a Doctor Who fan. I like using oi and, like, words like wanker. You know, like, I like using the terminology from, like, Britain and whatnot. And I've always wanted to be associated with it. And, you know, maybe it's Winnie the Pooh's fault, because I never knew that it was a British accent.
He's just disguising himself.
Yeah. But
I'm actually from the United States.
I didn't know that. And also, like, my other favorite child show right now, even though I'm an adult, okay, Bluey's really cool.
Bluey isn't
Australian. Bluey's Australian. This is the point I'm making. It's not American. Bluey's Australian. These are the two regions I really like, and I don't know what it is. They just, I don't know.
Australia also has a lot of fun words that we don't use in our version of English.
Like crikey. And dingo.
Well, dingo's an animal.
But we don't use it casually. Like, what a dingo.
So there were six girls that made it to the cabin in the 100-acre wood?
Maybe. I was thinking, because there's the one that doesn't want to give up her phone. There's the main girl who has trauma, her best friend, and then the two girls that are in a relationship, but that are kind of not. So I think there's only 5.
Okay. 6 including the one that gets wood chipped.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Because she was just a random friend. So
Yeah,
5 made it to the house.
Yeah, she died so soon, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so 6. Oh, because, yeah, she never made it. You're right. Ah. Yeah.
It's one of those things where, one of those tropes in these types of movies where I'm like, why would you ever go there?
Right?
Because they showed up to the house that they were supposed to be staying in, and I was like, dude, I'd turn around and leave. I'd be like, well, that's a creepy place. I'm not going in there.
You had to go in the woods so far to find it. When they were standing outside of the house, it literally, if they would have panned out, I bet there was actually other houses near, because it looked like one of those houses that would have multiple infrastructures around it, like cookie cutter or like farms and whatnot.
And I mean, it had a pool and a jacuzzi as well. So
yeah, and even in the pool scenes, like the outdoor.
They had like the sliding glass doors like you'd find in a hotel.
Yeah, and that could just be where they were filming, but
with a courtyard at least.
Yeah, it just felt like, when they have that scene where I think the one that just likes to be on her phone and they have the big pan view where Pooh is in the background, that seemed like a very long driveway. That seemed like the neighbors were just literally in the very back, and that was like their fence line. Like, it gave me that vibe that literally...
It took that girl forever to die, though.
It did.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Boy, we all wanted it sooner.
Well, I don't know about all of us.
Oh, man.
But I was just like, why is this taking so long? Because he was standing in the woods, and then he got closer to her, and then he left, and I was like, What is happening here? What is happening? And then you see him and Pickwick come back, and I'm like, okay, never mind. He ran off.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, because the girl was just chilling in the jacuzzi. And I was like, okay, this girl's probably going to die because she's 1, outside, and 2, outside in the dark.
I thought she was going to die in the jacuzzi, too.
Oh, yeah, they drag her out, don't they?
And run over her face.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, they somehow knew how to drive the car.
Yeah.
Which
Well, I mean, they had a bunch of rusted cars around that place, so maybe they, killed people prior to this. Because they said that there was, news articles or whatever in the beginning that were 30 people have gone missing in the 100-acre wood. And I'm like, that was another thing where I was just like, how in the world did these people go, let's go to the 100-acre wood and not do any research on this place at all? You know what I'm saying? Like, they would have seen the news articles and been like, okay, let's not go to the 100-acre wood.
Especially for the fact of, who booked it? Was it the main girl?
I feel like it was the main girl and the nerd's idea, if I remember right. Because I was the nerdy girl with glasses, and I was just like, there's no way that these people literally didn't have any information about how dangerous the 100-acre wood is.
Especially because I feel like the one who's always on her phone would be the type of person who'd oh my god, did you not see, the clout that's happening? So many people go missing. I hope that's me.
Oh, wow, 100-acre wood. Click.
Yeah, I feel like...
check the picture later. Oh, I shouldn't be here.
Right? I feel like... I don't know, I feel like that's a normal trope, is usually the one obsessed with their phone usually is always wanting to be in the know of everything.
That was not that girl's trope at all.
Nope.
She was
threw all the tropes out the window.
I'd rather just live on my phone.
Yeah,
Live on my phone, die on my phone.
Just underneath her head. I don't think I caught... maybe I wasn't paying attention, or maybe I was writing notes. I didn't catch the article thing. But that makes sense, because they had to...
They were it wasn't really an article as much as it was, something you'd hear on, a radio.
Oh.
You know, where...
Selective hearing.
It's kind of hard to if you're on a radio show and they're talking about the news and they like talk and say such and such thing happened, it was kind of like that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, 30 people have gone missing in the 100-acre wood.
Or like
Numerous
an
reports of
echo.
missing people. Yeah, as it was like panning
Yeah.
in the beginning after Christopher Robin. After the whole, I think it was after the whole Christopher Robin wife thing.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. I think yeah. Oh,
As it was
and then
panning into the
to
therapy
the girls.
scene.
And, yeah. I think I would just miss that. Yeah. Geez, that makes sense though, because they had to eat, you know, blood and honey.
Which was super creepy. I was like, well, they're two different liquids that don't really go together well.
No, and I hate honey.
And so Pooh kind of had to like stir it.
Like, why? Gotta flavor your honey? I don't know. I hate honey too. It's so sticky. I don't like being sticky. And just honey bothers me. It doesn't even taste good. Controversial opinion.
Well, that's a hot seat opinion.
It is a hot seat. One time I
Hot
had...
take.
Yeah,
Hot take, honey.
Hot
it's
honey
horrible.
sandwich. The one time I had...
Peanut butter and honey.
Yeah, the one time I had a peanut butter honey sandwich, I thought it was the most disgusting thing in the
Well,
world.
what kind of peanut butter did you use?
Creamy.
You gotta try crunchy, bro.
I
It's
don't
the way
like
to go.
honey.
Well, I mean, then you have crunchy peanut butter. If you don't like it, then you can just not eat it anymore.
As long as
and
I
then,
can put like nacho cheese Doritos in it.
I mean, I don't know if I'd suggest that in a peanut butter and honey sandwich, but
Peanut butter and nacho Doritos sandwich is the best. It's my
I've never
top 3
tried that.
sandwiches.
Up until last year, I never put chips in a sandwich.
It's the best thing. You gotta have that crunch.
Apparently, because
Yeah.
I didn't know it, and then one of my friends was like, "Ham and cheese, put a little bit of sun chip on there," and I was like, "This is weird, whatever."
No, it's the best thing in the world. I like peanut butter and nacho cheese, peanut butter and banana, and then I love peanut butter and J. Those are the best 3 sandwiches in the world. All peanut butter. I like peanut butter, if you can't tell. I also like when the guys were trying to help the girls. And I don't.
Oh, the old dude and his cronies.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, these guys. So they met them at the place, right?
Yeah, like right out on the
gas
road. Yeah,
station or whatever.
were those the same guys?
Yeah, well, they met the old dude
I didn't realize that.
at the gas station, and I was just like, oh no. It was one of those situations where I was like, oh man, this girl's about to get groped or something. This is gonna
Right,
be
yeah.
weird.
It's gonna be one of
And
those
then a
movies.
different couple walked in, and she's like, you know what, actually, I'm gonna go. And I'm like, thank goodness, I don't wanna. Just get away from this old dude. He's bad news, apparently.
Yeah, but
And then
no.
it turns out he wasn't bad news. He just.
Yeah, they were so nice to want to help, and I thought this is really cool.
Also, like, again, it's another one of those tropes that I'm just gonna have to get over. In that scene, 5 dudes roll up on Pooh Bear, and they're like, "You messing with this little girl over here?" And then Pooh Bear's just standing there, and they're like, "You ain't much of a talker, is you?" And then the dude like tries to hit Pooh over the head with something, and then they just stand there, and I'm like, if I was a leader of like a group of dudes, and my group of dudes went up to a thingamajig, and because I mean nobody knew it was a bear because
Right.
nobody's bothered listening to Christopher Robin's stories because they never told anybody.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
And one of my dudes, who's actually like a physically buff dude, because he was like a biker dude. He looked like a biker with tattoos, and he just like looked really tough. Hit him as hard as he could with a metal pole, and Pooh didn't budge at all. I'd be like, okay, boys, we're calling it in. Good luck, girls.
Yeah.
If you want, you can get in the back of our truck. We'll drive you anywhere.
Well, they were already in the truck just waiting there. I like that the guys helped them, and like the main guy.
They didn't help at all. They all died.
Well, they tried, okay? They tried.
It would just be it'd be one of those things where I'd be like, okay, good job, good game.
Good talk.
Like maybe pat Pooh on the belly or something and be like,
Pat Pooh on
okay,
the belly.
we're out. It's cool meeting you.
Oh my gosh.
And then run back to the truck.
Yeah, honestly, I don't get why even. Well, maybe it was just the whole idea of like we stick together as bros when like stuff started going wrong. Why they didn't just be like, okay, we're gonna sacrifice you. You're the Eeyore of our group. Goodbye.
Oh yeah, the biker dude.
Yeah.
As he's like getting torn apart. That would be the moment where I'd be like, run.
Right, but no. They're like, ego is our name.
They'll like pick up their next weapon, and I'm like, bro, you just saw your bro die. Don't try.
Even the girls were like, what are you doing?
Yeah. We saw him kill all of our friends who were all like just like women who didn't have any weapons. This dude took a bullet. Why are you trying to do anything to him? And I'm like, dude, why aren't you saying this outside the car?
Yeah, they can't hear you in the car. Like, roll the window down or something. Oh, jeez.
You just like see him rolling down the window. Pooh's a bird.
Oh, you're already dead. Okay, rolls it back up. Like,
yeah.
And I guess
no. It don't matter no more.
No one can see what we're doing, but we're like imitating the like old roll, like when you had to roll up the window.
Yeah,
instead
before
of having,
they were electronic.
Yeah, and like the pain, like fullness of that, especially when you would get to a certain point, it's just too much to roll up.
Because I don't think that they showed it in the movie, but that was definitely a truck that would have
100%.
those old rollers.
I hated those because sometimes my arm would just my arm would shoot off because I would want the window down immediately, and then I'd be like, oh, I gotta go back, and then I'd have to crank it, and I was in the back seat. They're usually it's more cramped in the back seat, so I'm like doing this weird motion.
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't use that as part of the horror element.
They should have.
See, but the whole point is like, again, I'm gonna keep making this point.
Okay.
He's a bear. He would just punch. He could just punch through the glass. He wouldn't even have to use anything. He could just go, psst. Hey guys, I'm in your car.
True. And the girls didn't even have the keys, right? Like they were stuck there.
No, the keys were in the truck.
Oh.
Otherwise, I don't think the headlights could be in.
No, I think you can have the headlights on without the car being on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, my understanding of cars is way off. Well, because they were able to drive and they didn't go and retrieve the keys from the dudes.
Oh, I couldn't see. It's been a while. I thought that's when the other car came around.
Oh no. They drove a little bit in the truck, and then they were dunces. This is my problem with these movies. Like, I love the B movies because I'm like, okay, this is one of those movies where stereotypically everybody dies. It's really funny.
Yeah.
But the choices that they make to get to death are some of the stupidest choices ever.
Yeah. They're like D choices.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to it because I want to go back to them in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Because, unironically, one of my favorite parts is when the two girls that are dating are like getting chased around by Piglet, and one of them like jumps in the pool. And then it's just like Piglet slowly moving towards her because he's just walking in the pool, and this girl's like, ah, ah, ah,
she can't
like,
get
freaking out. And he's just like slowly moving towards her because he's big and chunky, and she's just like, ah, ah, ah. And then she
she's
just
like
gets
physically floating on the water too, like
yeah. And so I'm just like, get out and go away. He's obviously slow. And,
like,
and then she just ends up just like basically giving up
and just
and gets her
dying
head smashed.
so like crucially, and then her partner wakes up and sees it, and I'm like, oh gosh.
It was one of those things where I was just like, that's really funny. And because he was like holding a sledgehammer and swinging a sledgehammer in the water, and I was like, okay, so obviously he's slower because he's walking in water, super slow.
Right.
Secondly, he's swinging a giant sledgehammer. That takes a lot of effort.
Heavy.
Even if you're like a big thingamajig, he's like a warthog or whatever. Mm-hmm. But swinging a giant sledgehammer, there was ample time to get away.
Or even just dodge.
They literally did like a circle around the pool. Like he'd go to one side and then she'd be like, ah! And then go to the other side.
Right.
They did like a 2 laps around the pool of like her going, ah, ah, ah.
I don't think they did 2 laps.
Before
I think like
Piglet,
literally it was a straight all the way to the back.
I feel like that she at least turned around once.
No, I don't think she did.
Oh, really?
I really don't think she did. I think it was just a slow and painful, like, straight line back.
But it still took him forever to get over there. Like, she was at the other side of the pool, like, in seconds, and he was just like, I'm coming for you. And I'm like, dude, why didn't you get out?
You could have literally lifted yourself out and had all the time, and even you could have dodged the sledgehammer because you obviously proved you can move fast in the water as you're swarming about, unable, quotes, end quotes, unable to get out. Like, you could have literally dodged it to where only maybe your arm got hurt. But no.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she was so unhappy in the relationship.
Yeah, she's like, I'd rather die to a weird pig thing.
Yeah.
Even though the woman I love is standing at the, is like passed out at the other end of the pool.
Yeah.
And then it was like one of those things when they found the crazy lady. I don't know if you remember the crazy lady.
Yeah, I remember the crazy lady.
There was a crazy lady who was just like, they call themselves Pooh and Piglet, and she's just like this old lady who was like beaten up or whatever. And I honestly thought it was the lady from the gas station as well. But then I realized that they would have, she would have known that it was the girls because she ran into the girl.
Right.
And the main girl and the nerd girl found her. Oh, and the weird one that watched her partner die.
And she's the weird one.
Well, she's the weird one because I don't even remember how she passed out. That's part of the reason why she's weird.
Oh yeah, it was a dumb way for sure.
And I was like, well, that's kind of silly. And then she's just like, no, don't do it! And I'm like, well, this dude, I love it when they're like, no, don't do it! Because I'm like, dude, this guy's way beyond that. He's totally chill with whatever. Pooh goes, hey, Piglet, kill that woman. And he's like, sure, whatever. And so I'm just like, whatever, they're just chilling. And so they go and they go back into the woods to fetch this woman. And the woman's like, oh, you got a Glock? Let me use that Glock. I gotta go kill Pooh. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, so this is one of those controversial, one of those like things that I'm just like kind of like, come on, really? Mm-hmm. Is when they like find her and she goes, I heard them talking to each other. They were whispering. It was creepy. They called themselves Pooh and Piglet. And I was like, okay. At the beginning of the movie, they're like, they killed Eeyore and vowed to never speak again. And I'm like, okay, now they're whispering to each other and you just happen to hear that their names are Pig and Pooh, Piglet and Pooh. Right. Come on. What is happening here? And
it's their secret bond.
That's how they like throw you a bone on who the characters actually, give the characters a little bit more information about who they are.
Right, like make
and I was just like, okay, so they vowed never to talk again. And then the only time we see them talk is at the end.
Maybe there's more lore. Maybe it was Rabbit and Owl who was like, we're not gonna speak again. So maybe that's why they were whispering.
Yeah, Rabbit and Owl were just like the convincing party, and now they were just like, oh yeah, let's just not talk. And then Pooh and Piglet were like,
whisper, whisper,
that
whisper.
seems kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just roll with this one because Rabbit said so.
Yeah.
And he's generally the smart one.
Yeah, like Owl and Rabbit, I think they're usually always the one that either have the plans or like say, no, we gotta do it this way.
Yeah, Rabbit typically goes, Pooh, this is dumb.
Yeah, honestly, Pooh, no. And I was like, Pooh, wait. Or however he goes, how he speaks, so he's usually just wise and whatnot. So who knows, maybe they're literally perched like up high, because like...
They're just like watching over them.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you idiots.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. And then there are so many times when I'm just like, okay, now would be a good time to leave. When that crazy lady was like, give me your clock, and took the gun from the main character who just was like, oh, I have a gun because I'm scared. And I was like, okay, that makes sense at least.
Right, yeah.
That was like one of the only convincing parts of this movie. Granted, this movie is about Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
I can't even complain because it's fictional anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that makes sense. She has a gun because honestly, if I had a crazy stalker who walked into my bedroom, I'd be like, bro, you better step up out of my house or I'm gonna blast you. And and so she had a gun, and then the old lady goes, their names are Pooh and Piglet, I'm gonna go kill them, and then grabs the gun from her. I'm like, this is the time to leave.
Because she's crazy.
Let the old lady who's gone, Winnie the Pooh! Running around like screaming his name, Pooh Bear!
Right.
I know you're out there, come
opposite
find
direction.
Me. And I'd be like, okay, time to leave. This lady's crazy because, first off, she knew their names. That's a dead giveaway that she probably shouldn't be here. Second off, she's an older lady. She looked older.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was actually older. Maybe it was just all the blood that was covering her.
I feel like she looked older too. Well, I mean, whether or not she was captured when she was... Yeah, whether or not she was captured when she was older or they kept her around as like...
Although I guess if they didn't follow her, they wouldn't have been able to save Christopher Robin. I think that was like the plot point that made it okay that they followed her.
I guess. That's fine.
Because then the girl in the relationship kind of just... Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I have so many, like, complaints.
Okay, let's go into them.
Girl who was in the relationship by the pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Girl who was passed out and then woke up and was like, no, don't kill her! Chains up Piglet.
Right.
And then he's like trying to escape, and I'm just like, wow, those are really tough chains. If the freaking beast who can lift a sledgehammer above himself like this for like 5 minutes continually can't break chains, and like he's a wild animal, so it's just like I was like, dude's gonna bust out of those chains, grab her head, and just go, oh, you're cute.
Right, that's what I kept thinking, is that he's literally, all he has to do is like move his arms together and it would bring it down.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, makes sense that Granny can't escape. Granny's weak and old, and she's been beaten up because apparently they didn't really have their way with her, but they just like tortured her in such a way. Yeah. She
was separated from like the other bodies that they had slowly draining.
Which was disgusting.
That, honestly, that was really cool. Like, on a psycho perspective.
That was really cool.
Yeah, like, for like appreciating, like, I appreciate horror, and I love a good, like, psychopath serial killer kind of moment, and I thought that was kind of cool. Especially when they showed Christopher Robin, like, his fiance's body, and like how Pooh kind of like set it in there with him. I thought that was like, oh man, that's.
And then he was just like, "Here, bro, have some of her blood."
Yeah,
and
he
like
rained
pours
it on him.
I
was like, you got him, because you know Pooh's traumatized too.
I love him going, "Pooh, this isn't you. Pooh, this isn't you," and then Pooh just going, "I'm gonna whip you with this braid." And I was like, there's no way that he'd be able to actually whip him with that thing. But it is kind of funny.
Well, funny.
The thing is like, there's a reason why whips work the way that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they have that, elasticity, whatever.
That big word.
And then the leather wreaths at the end crack together.
Right.
When you do that.
Mm-hmm.
With hair, I'm just like, okay, it was braided, so it wasn't even really like that big of a deal. And then it was coned at the end, so I was like, what is he doing to him? Like, I know that he's supposed to be whipping him, but he's just hitting him with hair at that point. Because I don't think it would hurt that much, would it? To like whip someone with your hair?
I feel like it's not soft hair. It's probably brittle, or not brittle, but like crusty.
Oh yeah, like if you, like similar to how a paintbrush would be crusty if you like left paint on it.
Like, I mean,
that's fair, because I mean it was bloody hair.
Yeah, and I mean you've probably,
so it probably hurt to hit him with it.
Yeah, and everyone's probably experienced when their hair's been at the dirtiest. It's kind of like hard and brittle.
And I know I keep making. No, sorry, keep going.
and yeah,
brittle.
Like it's covered in blood, maybe honey.
Sticky.
You know, like
sticky whip.
It could just be, and it's probably hard to. I mean, it probably resembles more of a rope too, just like how it is.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because ropes are kind of interwoven leather,
Yeah.
Woven leather.
Yeah,
let's
go with that.
Anyway, weird scene. Christopher Robin definitely did not. Well, he probably kind of deserved it, but at the same time, I was just like, this is very different. Because a couple years ago, Disney did a movie called Christopher Robin where he went back to the 100-acre wood as an adult.
I didn't watch that.
And Ewan McGregor was Christopher Robin, and I was like, oh, this is a cute film. They did the same thing, and I'm just like, okay, this is a different take on the film. Like, what happened if Pooh Bear and... I thought it was kind of weird that they starved, because you never really see any of the other animals eat anything. And so it's mostly just Pooh eating a bunch of honey. That's true.
At least, I mean, from watching the movies only, they had a lot of picnics. Tigger loved to eat, too. He liked to... Like,
I mean, he is a tiger.
Yeah, and he would irritate Rabbit.
Thing.
Yeah, he's a tiger.
No, he's a tigger.
Oh, sorry, he's a
There's
tigger.
There's only one tigger.
Right, my bad. My bad.
But he's technically a tiger with a little bouncy tail.
Yeah. And then we had, we watched Rabbit eat in the movies. Rabbit would have, like...
Honestly, I completely forgot about that, so I was just like...
I mean, I'm the movie entrepreneur. I remember the one film where Pooh Bear got stuck in Rabbit's, like, entrance to his home. It would be really weird if I just said his hole. entrance to his home, and it was Pooh Bear's rumpus that was stuck there, and Rabbit's like, I can do something with this. And like Rabbit kept putting like a dining table and eating his food, making a shelf out of it, making an elephant, like drawing an elephant.
It just didn't bother him that he couldn't go in his house.
Yeah, like he couldn't go out of his house. He was stuck in his house.
Oh.
And he was just doing a bunch of things. So like that's one of my favorite parts of like the original things. But
yeah, not this movie.
No, not this movie. That didn't happen.
Pooh. There was very little time that Pooh was stuck in this movie.
Arguably twice. One emotionally and one physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes sense to me that they starved just because like it put a different perspective on it when they were talking about that with the little animations and with Christopher Robin is like, yeah, they were basically babies when Christopher Robin, or like that's the perspective, and I never thought of it like that. Literally never. They're like so young that they don't really know a lot about the world, and that's why they might be without good morals and whatnot, so like not knowing how to feed themselves because they're relying on Christopher Robin as like a guardian and whatnot to help them through it. It makes so much sense. And then when you like the whole idea of nature versus nurture, and like you now have to rely on yourself, and it's a cruel world out there. I mean, you probably run into a bunch of other animals too that don't like treat you very nice, and like if you think of the book Frankenstein, which also does a lot of nature versus nurture, like Victor Frankenstein left and ran away from his creation. The creation had to learn how to do things on their own, and he only got hatred brought on him, so he became a hateful person. Like, I think that's the same thing that happened here, you know?
Just Pooh psychologically going, well, I mean, at the end, he was just like, you left.
Yeah.
And he said it in such a scraggly voice that I was like, there's no way that old lady understood him. I'm telling you, that was like the one thing that like really bothered me about the movie.
Oh, really?
Was that they vowed never to speak again, and yet this random old lady in the middle of nowhere was like, I know their names. And I'm like, okay, you're just here for a convenient time, lady. And then she didn't even do anything because the gun like broke when she was trying to use it.
Oh yeah, she was like distracted with like other gunshots.
She's like, come on, Pooh! And I'm like, dude could probably hear you from a mile away. You don't need to shoot the gun.
But apparently he can't, remember, because he can't hear the people sneaking in the bedroom.
Apparently not.
Apparently.
But I was just like, yeah, that poor lady.
Yeah, honestly, I would have left her when she started screaming at her. Okay, it's not good on my morals, but I had literally a flight reaction when she started screaming at her reflection. I'm like, nope, we're leaving her right here. There's no way calming her down. She's having a psychological breakdown. I'm out.
Oh.
When they first rescue her, and then
she
sees her face all messed up.
And then she like decides that that's when she's gonna go murder Pooh Bear.
Yeah, but like right before when she's freaking out, they're like, no, shush, and she's screaming. Literally, my body was like, we're going.
Yeah.
she's
I'd be like, call her back at the house. We're good. They're on their way over here because they hear her screaming.
Yeah.
Let's just dip. I would totally leave.
I mean, it's bad morals, but like honestly, I had that like flight reaction.
Like, my thing is, if I was in that situation, and if it was you and me, and we were chilling with that old lady, and you were like,
we would be gone.
You'd be like, geez, we gotta get out of here. I'd be like, okay, done. I will go with you. You drive. Because I probably shouldn't be driving away in a getaway vehicle. But
it'd be fun.
It would be fun. I'd be like, okay, I'm down.
There's no rules when you're trying to escape death.
Well, yeah, and then on top of that, everything that happened, like, Lady was calling them to her attention, and you know that Pooh was like, hey, Pickle, let's go kill this hag.
Right.
Because she finally deserves it. Because they kept her alive for some weird reason.
Yeah, they don't really... It makes no sense.
Yeah, they murderize everybody else who happens to cross their path, and then this one lady is just like...
And it makes no sense for, like, the psychological trauma of it, because if you think, oh, I'm trying to replace Christopher Robin, you'd think they would get a little boy that they would, like, have there that maybe was there for years being raised. Like, that would make sense to me, is if they kidnapped a little boy similar to when Christopher Robin left, and then he was chained up and, like, forced to live out his life and forced to eat the blood honey. Like, I could have wrote this movie better, but that would...
I mean, blood and honey wouldn't really exist, though. Because if they kidnapped a little boy and then the little boy became their friend, like, think about it that way.
But also think about it like, it's not going to be their friend. It's not going to actually do the things they want. It's going to be screaming and being like, I don't want to be here. And they want to try to control, like, Christopher not, like, I knew Christopher not leaving, they would keep him chained up. It makes more sense.
Well, I mean, Christopher Robin was just kind of a horrible kid anyway, because he snuck away with his family to go play with animals in the woods.
Dangerously, yeah. Yeah. And who knows how, like, close he actually lived.
It's like an Alice in Wonderland kind of scenario.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Look at all this fun cast of characters I met, Mom.
I fell down a hole. I got mad at the beginning when, like, we talked about earlier, like, you thought Christopher Robin died in the fire. I also thought he just died and was never coming back.
Yeah, I thought they burned his body. I was like,
oh, well, there goes the movie. Like, I feel like it would
They have no reason to be mad anymore.
Right? Well, no, not just that. It's like, you can't have a Winnie the Pooh horror movie without Christopher Robin. Like, if you killed him, it was so early. I was like, okay, fine, cool. I don't like the movie.
And the body looked like a dude's body, too.
Yeah.
So I was just like, well, Christopher Robin's dead.
Then I wonder who actually did die, because then they kept the lady and, like, I don't know, maybe they charred her body and cooked it and ate it. I don't know.
Maybe it was the old lady's buddy.
Oh, maybe. Oh, so maybe it was the people in the gas station is what you're trying to tie it back to?
No.
Oh.
I mean, like, the lady that was tied up who, like, saw her face.
Oh, like yeah,
maybe
she had
it
a
was
buddy.
somebody that was, like, with her.
Yeah.
That we just didn't see. Because this whole movie took... I honestly think that this whole movie took, like, maybe 3 days.
To film?
Like,
or
no,
like...
in, like, real life
okay.
time.
Oh, me too.
Between them doing... getting Christopher Robin and the end of the movie, I think it was, like, maybe 3 days. Because they were kind of just hanging Christopher Robin there, and the only, like, liquid that he technically had contact with was blood. So the human body probably wouldn't be able to withstand
I feel like it took
that
longer.
longevity.
I mean, you can last without liquids, I think, for a week or two. And I feel like they wouldn't eat his partner's body that fast. I feel like maybe there's
Well, I mean, they didn't eat her. Remember, they, like, I don't know, she just
So
had
they
issues.
picked off her, like, she was just skeleton at that point. They probably, like drained the blood or whatnot and then ate. Like, that's
Like
how they
human jerky.
Yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
Like, that's how they were surviving, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, all like they probably didn't want to eat the guts because they probably don't. I think the guts of a human are like seafood, icky, squibbly bits, you know? So they probably didn't want to eat that. They probably only wanted to eat the meat. I don't know. I feel like it might have taken a little longer. Maybe instead of 3 days, maybe 5 days.
Okay, we'll go with that.
We'll go. Okay, compromise. I thought it was sweet. I know we're talking about things we don't like, but the last thing that I thought was sweet.
Oh, I wasn't talking about things that I don't like.
Well, we were talking about things we didn't like at one point.
Well, it was all just, it's stuff that is just like weird to me, but it was also it was weird in a funny way.
Well,
That's what I was meaning. I'm like, this lady was super dumb, but it was hilarious to me.
That's true. I think the sweetest part of the movie is when Christopher held the woman, the last woman who died, until she died. Like, held her until she died. When her throat got cut.
Yeah, that ticked me off.
When he held her or when her throat got cut?
No, just the entire scene.
Yeah, after, like, so yeah, Christopher, or someone, who pins the car? Christopher, he drives the car because he's telling them to go. He told the ladies to go. And he pins the car.
Pooh Bear between the car and the truck.
And, like, oh, the Pooh Bear's apparently dead. Like, that's what the thought is, but he isn't. And then he ends up, like, getting them. And they're all sort of weak and can't run away. But because the girl hurt her ankle, right? Something happened to her ankle.
Well, I mean, she was in a car crash. This is the point that I was going to get to. They get in the truck, right?
Uh-huh.
They're driving the truck. They plow into Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear rolls over the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Is in the... Either that or he goes under. And he gets in the back of the truck. And they're like, shake him off, shake him off. And they shake him out of the truck. And then they're like, oh, phew, that was a relief. He's gone. They both look into the back and are like, is he there? And then they crash. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
It only takes one person. One person could have been like, oh yeah, he ain't there no more. The passenger, like the main chick was the passenger, and the nerd chick was the one that was driving. Like, I don't even know if
she died upon impact, didn't she?
No, she didn't. Pooh Bear dragged her out and chopped off her head.
Oh, man. Why
and then he, like, threw her head to the car. Mm-hmm. And then girl woke up and was like, oh, why is it so cloudy on our car?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and then she, like, used the windshield wipers and saw the head on the hood.
Which there was no reason for such a dramatic, suspenseful thing. Like, Pooh Bear probably would have instantly just killed her, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that was too much of a wait, but I guess...
I just, like... The thing is, like, I don't understand why they didn't escape.
Well, she hurt her ankle.
No.
Oh, the girls.
In the car. They would have... Because Christopher Robin was fine.
Yeah.
He was in a car. He would have been able to escape.
Yeah.
They would have been able to escape. They shook Pooh out of the truck.
Yeah.
And both stupidly looked back in the back to be like, is he gone? And I'm like, are you serious? Pay attention to where you're driving. That's like one of the first rules of the road. Have your passenger check and be like, okay, he's not there. We're good. And then if a spook happened where he just was like happening to hold on to the truck or something, then I'd be like, okay, that's fine. He's a bear. You know, he probably has pretty good grip strength. He's just grabbing onto the truck, not getting shaken off. And that would have been fine with me. Like, maybe if he was on the side and busted through the window to the driver and grabbed her, and then she was just like, ah! And then they crashed. I would be fine with that. But the fact that they were just so stupid to be like, is he there? Oh, like, dude, he's not there. You shook him out. You don't both need to look. And then they crashed, and I'm like, man, that really worked for you. How did that go? And then girl was kind of ditzy. Her friend died.
Yeah. Maybe it was karma.
And then, Pooh Bear was just standing in front of the truck. I completely forgot what they crashed into because it was weird because the truck was back on the road.
Maybe they hit the ditch.
Because I mean, Christopher Robin slammed into Pooh.
I wonder if they hit the ditch and then it kind of like...
Oh, it like jostled them and then they like had a really horrible impact. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like rewatch the scene apparently because I don't remember how they managed to get back on the road. But
yeah,
this is the part that I remember about my notes because I did not bring my notes. I wrote in very big letters after Christopher Robin smashed into him and was like, "Okay, come on, girl, let's get out of here." I wrote in very big letters, "Christopher Robin wins." I was like, yes, Christopher Robin, MVP. He won. He took down Pooh. We're gonna get out of here. Everything's gonna be fine. Trauma Girl's gonna live.
It's a good ending.
Because I thought that Trauma Girl was going to live.
Right,
so
she has Final Girl energy.
And she has the Trauma Girl energy, which means that obviously something bad happens so it can't happen again. In the horror genre, that's typically how it goes. As like a typical trope. If you have trauma from the past, you're probably gonna live, or you're gonna die really early. And she made it all the way through the movie, and I was like, oh, she's gonna live. And then, Christopher Robin's like, no, Pooh, please,
take me
instead. And I was like, okay. But then he said the words, "I promise," and I was like, oh, it's probably over. And then Pooh goes, "You left," and then slices the girl, and I was like, well, that's a D-bag move.
Like, literally, the movie could have ended perfectly if those two just left. Like, where they have the trailing off scene or whatnot, but no.
And they still could have made a sequel.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, I mean, it's still Winnie the Pooh and Piglet in the middle of the woods killing everybody.
Yeah. But no.
And apparently Christopher Robin isn't part of the sequel, so...
Probably
he wasn't on the cast list, at least.
Oh, maybe
but he was on the cast list for the third movie. And I was just like, I don't know where they're gonna go from this. But I mean, you can make a million movies about a bear and a pig killing everybody.
Yeah, true. Do you want to hear the last thing I really hated that I forgot about?
Sure.
It made no sense that all of a sudden Pooh is like the Lord of the Bees. Like, he could control the bees.
Oh, yeah.
When, like, and throughout the whole,
when that
like,
dude was
background,
running away and he was just like...
He takes the bees and they just go. Like, the whole time in the movies and maybe the books, like, the bees are always coming after Pooh. So how is he conquering the bees? It just doesn't make sense.
He's just like... Because now he's an animal. He's just like, whatever. He gets stung a bajillion times and all of a sudden they respect him.
Apparently. It made no sense.
He's just like... And then they're like, yeah, boss, what you want? I was doing like an arm motion, just because I know we're an audio podcast. I was doing an arm motion where he at the end of the movie, he holds his hand up and you see the bees like circling, and then he like moves his hand down like he's using the force towards the guy, and then the bees go down and like attack the last guy.
It makes no sense.
and then the guy like slams. It's the trope where the dude slams against the car and like, "Get out of here, girls!" before he dies. And I was like, yeah, you kind of said that like 20 minutes ago, and then they would have actually left.
Yeah.
I would have left. I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, bro. That musclehead dude just couldn't beat the Pooh Bear. We saw him. Oh, they didn't see him get shot. We saw him dismantle an old woman. All of our friends are dead. Let's get out of here.
Right? No.
Because, like you said, it's fight or flight. They just sat there.
Well,
like, apparently there's an invisible third option in horror movies, which is just
freeze.
like sit there.
Well, no, it's actually a logistical. It's not invisible. It's actually logistical. In my psychology background, it's flight, fright. No, I can't speak. Fight, flight, or freeze. But I don't even think they embodied the freeze, because freeze, you'd be traumatized, unable to move. They were just like, what are we gonna do? Kind of like, that's how it felt. Like, what are we doing? Instead of having that, like, usually you have this look where you're disassociating and you don't know what to do. But I don't think that's what was going on here.
Especially when they were in the truck. The old dude was like, girls, go get in the truck. We'll take care of this guy. And they're like, no, you don't know what you're doing. And they're like, we got this. And then they go and get in the truck.
They just sit there.
And then just sit there.
They just sit there.
And I'm like, what, did you expect the dudes to come back? I don't know.
I really don't. I mean, if you had to change one thing about this movie to make it better, what would you do?
I honestly, weirdly enough, I think I would have added the other two characters to it.
Yeah?
Just because, not because I'm like, how would Tigger kill a guy? But it's more like the little cartoon at the beginning put an emphasis that all the friends decided to make this pact.
Right.
And yet we only saw two of the friends. And so that would be one of the things that I would change. I'd at least throw, like, maybe Kanga in there. Never Rue. I bet that, like, in the heat of the moment, when they decided to kill Eeyore, Kanga was like, Rue, don't watch this. You don't want to see this.
Right.
Because,
I don't even know, like...
Because, I mean, mother capabilities would mean, like, Rue ain't nowhere near that.
Did they even mention those two in the original book?
I don't think so.
The
It might have just been, like, a Disney thing.
Well, I was meaning, like...
Oh, in the
animation in the beginning of the movie.
Well, I mean, I assumed that it was all of them.
Well, it was like 5. Because we have Pooh, Piglet, Owl Rabbit, and Eeyore.
And Tigger.
No. Tigger wasn't in it.
He wasn't?
It literally, I swear to you.
Man, you remember this animation more than I do.
Apparently.
I remember the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
You just remember this.
I remember the important parts. It was Owl, because I remember it being 5 of them. Or maybe it was 6 of them. Maybe it was Tigger. I don't know. But I remember... I don't know. I'm backtracking. I remember definitely there was Owl and there was Rabbit. And then there was obviously Piglet and Pooh and obviously Eeyore. But I don't think there... Oh, God. I don't think there was a Tigger. I think I went from 5 to 4. But definitely, like, Kanga and Roo went there. But, also, when I was a kid and I realized that the mom and the child, if you put their names together, is kangaroo, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. But anyway, it would have been great to have a bunch of the characters in it, because we also... Who are the other characters I'm missing? I don't think there's anyone else besides Kangaroo and Tigger. But, they just feel like side B characters, I guess. They're not in every episode.
Well, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, there's still, like, friends that they introduce in the beginning of the movie.
I don't think Tigger was there, though.
And I'm like, this is kind of weird that they were there, and it was just like, they're also animalistic, and yet nothing happened with them.
Maybe, like I said, maybe they're perching, they're too sophisticated.
Well, I mean, in the sequel poster is literally just the rest of the friends and Winnie the Pooh. So the sequel,
you see Winnie and Pooh, or Pooh and... Well, I cannot speak. Pooh and Piglet also. Well, not Piglet.
I'm pretty sure one of the posters is all of the characters looking bloody and horrific.
So maybe it's like... Maybe the second one is technically a prequel.
Like they murdered all their friends and that's why we just have to watch the sequel apparently.
I guess so. We're just so theorizing it. The thing that I would change... We talked about this briefly. I would change the ending. I would just end it when those two, like Christopher and our trauma girl, would just get out, because that it's there's so much closure right there. It's fine. It's not so complicated. It didn't need that, like, extra stupidity of it. I don't know. I didn't like it. They could have just had them running in the forest, and then it pans back to like Pooh getting out of the truck, or it could have just panned back to the truck and whatnot, and then it could have done like a secret scene where it shows Pooh not moving, and all of a sudden he moves, like a little like suspenseful scene, and then the movie could end there to like suggest that there's going to be another one because Pooh's not dead. That would have been fine. That would have been great, but no, that's the thing I would change.
The other thing about that scene, it left it on a cliffhanger because we still don't know if Christopher. The thing is like, no matter what happens in this movie, you can never tell if Christopher Robin is dead or not. Because like he ran away at the end, and I was like, I can't really tell if Pooh made a motion as if he was chasing Christopher Robin.
Oh, did he?
Like he like moved as to like look at him,
Wow.
and I was like, I can't even tell if Christopher Robin's gonna live through this or not.
Yeah, this is where Tigger comes out,
Yeah, he bouncy trounces over and slams his body against
right.
Christopher Robin, and Christopher Robin falls down. He's like, ow.
And that's gonna be in the first 5 seconds of the next movie, and you're like, well, there goes Christopher Robin again. He's gone. He's gone for good this time.
And then they throw him back on the meat hook, and
Yeah.
he's like, no, not again. I just barely escaped this. I honestly thought he was gonna die. I thought he was gonna die at the end. Do you want to know why I thought he was gonna die at the end? Because of the fact that he used the F-bomb. He used the F-bomb to Pooh Bear, and I was like, oh, that is like the big... Maybe that's why he murdered the woman.
Oh, yeah.
Because like that's like the biggest insult that you could probably throw at a former friend is F you.
True.
And he just like screams it as he's barreling this car towards Winnie the Pooh. And I'm like, wow, this bro's been through a lot. And he's got a lot of pent up rage.
Yeah.
And then like, again, Pooh's trapped. He has girl. Leave. But they just stood there. He was like, are you okay? Let's get you patched up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, why are you sitting here?
Well, they tried, and her, like, ankle, like, wasn't doing good, but at the same time, like, work through the pain. It's not broken, it's probably just sprained. Like, I literally sprained my ankle a month ago, and I worked through it painfully, but, like, just work through it.
And the last point I'm going to make, because I don't know how long this has been going.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
This is the final time I'm saying this in this
Okay.
podcast. He's a bear! like, he ran a car into him, sure. But he's a bear! Bears are giant, and they can survive a lot of damage.
Yeah.
For at least a short amount of time. But, like, why would you expect him to be dead from that? Like, sure, he like, tipped over or whatever onto the truck a little bit. But it was like, Christopher Robin, what are you doing?
Well,
Pick up this woman and run.
He wasn't there when the guys were fighting, so I guess he doesn't know that he can take a lot of damage. But again, he is a bear.
He is a bear.
He's a bear.
That's like the whole thing about this movie that really bothered me is that nobody seemed to remember that he's a bear.
Yeah, did anyone not watch Cocaine Bear?
Apparently not.
I didn't.
Nor did I. But the thing is like, it's not even that. It's like, because Christopher Robin should know that Winnie the Pooh is a bear.
Yeah.
And that Piglet is a pig.
Yeah.
He lived through this.
Yeah.
He knows that Winnie the Pooh is a bear. And Winnie the Pooh is a giant bear now.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of Christopher Robin sized when Christopher Robin was a kid. He's a giant bear that's murdering people.
Yeah.
I would be like, he's a bear, let's leave.
Yeah. But no.
Winnie the Pooh is a bear. There's no guarantee he's dead. We gotta leave.
And that's the one thing you should take from this podcast, is that he is a bear.
Winnie the Pooh is a bear.
Put it across the news, he is a bear. Well, did you like the movie overall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I was just like thinking about it over the course of the next couple of days, because, of course, movies like this, you just can't get them out of your brain for a couple of days.
Right.
And I was like, I think I kind of... I hate that I kind of love it. But it's not like I decided that it's somewhere between a medium and a large for me.
Okay.
Like, I'd get the large bucket just because I'm like, I don't know how this is going to play out if I would want to watch this. That's fine.
Okay.
But then I'd fill it up to where it was just like slightly more than medium. And then, because it would be one of those movies where I'd probably be more fascinated in eating the popcorn than watching the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
So I'd probably go and get more. But I was just like, I can't ever imagine myself going to a theater to see that. And speaking of that, I saw a photo that was really funny. It was like red carpet style, movie premiere style, and it was just like Winnie the Pooh standing with the rest of the cast, just going like this.
Nope.
And I was like, that is really funny.
You're just over there like, here's a bear!
Here's a bear! What are you doing?
Oh gosh.
Can you imagine like being part of the premiere and going and seeing that, and then just like
being in costume
sitting.
would be terrible.
Well, I mean, at least the theater is cold.
I don't know. I feel like theaters get really warm real fast, especially if it's full.
And especially if it's a horror movie. That's part of the reason why they pump AC in there.
I didn't know what you were gonna say after your pump. I was like, for a second, I was like, what?
Whoa.
Blood and honey in the fumes. You know, the movie, it wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit stagnant to me. I will say the murder scenes kind of make up for the staleness of the plot and dialogue, because really, if I started paying attention to the dialogue, I was like, I don't want to listen anymore. Maybe that's why I tuned out the part about the article. Is like anything that was being spoken, I thought this does not sound good, and I just hated most of it. But and like the plot holes we talked about, but I would still give it a medium. And just for the murder scenes, I love those intro graphics and the reoccurring Christopher plot point. If Christopher never came back, it was gonna be a small. Like if he wasn't coming back in the second half of the movie,
it was just like his wife dies and then all of a sudden there's no Christopher Robin.
Yeah, like at all. I was like, what's the point? They would have been a small, but no. I would give it a medium for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
At least you appreciated it that much.
I do. It wasn't as terrible. It's definitely some of those movies that I procrastinate watching because I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be worth my time. But I don't think I would go watch it again.
I wouldn't watch it again, but I'm half tempted to watch the sequel.
I would watch the sequel and do they call them threequels when it's the third one? Whenever it comes out, I would be very much tempted and might also, especially if you say the poster has the other characters. But I would never watch the first one again. I think that was just...
It's definitely a one and done kind of movie.
Yeah, like, you know, you had a nice night.
Yeah.
You had a nice evening with her. You gave her just a little peck on the cheek and you tell her have a good life.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Well, with that, we have ended our lovely horror-themed era of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And join us on our next adventure, because apparently I looked it up, and apparently this is a Thanksgiving movie, which doesn't make very much sense to me because I've seen it. But they don't really do Thanksgiving except for near the end. But we are going to be watching Son-in-Law, featuring Pauly Shore, which you said you haven't seen. So I'm really excited to see how you feel about this movie, because it's more comedic than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Well, I really like comedies. I think comedies are my top next to horror.
Well, there you have it, breadcrumbs. This has been Cheese.
And me.
And we will see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Love you. Bye.